Somebody asked me, random says, do you need to be good at coding to be in cyber? No, you don't. So I and I'll give you my own personal experience is I've been in this field. I've been doing IT since I was in the military, which was a long ass time ago. I'm gonna date myself, but 2000, year 2000 is when I was in the Air Force. That's when I first cross trained into. I was a cop, and then I cross trained into computers. And I could tell you, no position that I've had required me to have programming or scripting, and I've been doing cybersecurity since that time, on and off since that time. Mostly cybersecurity though. Um, there was a couple jobs that had nothing to do with cybersecurity that I did. I was a field tech engineer, and that job, my coworker knew code, thank God, but I didn't. You know, that job probably would I would have been. I should have known code, and I didn't. But in this job in cyber, I haven't. You're probably wondering, like, well, how do you how can you not know how to program, but you're a cybersecurity professional? How is that possible? Let me explain. So my very first job doing purely cybersecurity stuff, GRC in particular, was I was a message technician and I was a what we call the ComSec officer, which means I managed crypto keys. Um, there was no need for us to know any kind of programming at all. No scripting was required. What we did was we checked the validity. A message would come through, it was a classified message. We checked the validity of the message. We made sure that it was going to where it needed to go. And then we also managed crypto keys and we did some other things all in a skiff. If the computer broke, we would fix it or whatever. You don't need to know programming to fix a computer unless it's the code on the back end of an application or something. So in that job, my very first job, uh, doing purely cybersecurity, GRC type stuff, I didn't have to know. I didn't have to know how to program. And then the second job I had when I got out of the military, and I was a field tech doing like Unix and some weapon system, all this kind of stuff. And no, he didn't. They hired me knowing I did not know how to script or anything, and they hired me. My coworker, he knew how to do scripting and all that kind of stuff, right? And that wasn't even our job. It was we had programmers who were doing that. That wasn't he just happened to know how to do it, so we would help them with some of their code that was messed up. So that's my second one outside of the first one outside of the military. Um, what else did I do? Fast forward, like I was an information system security officer working for the NASA. I worked for Ball Aerospace. I worked for DOD, Air Force, Army. I worked for a whole bunch of different companies, a pharmaceutical company. Not one of those jobs, all most paid six figures, did I have to know programming. What was I doing? I mean, for the most part, I was doing vulnerability management, which means we have all of these different applications on our network, and we have to make sure that they're not end of life. We have to make sure that they're updated and patched properly, which does not require software engineering of any sort, unless you're actually making the software and then you have to update the patch or whatever. You have to make the patch or whatever. No, in all these jobs, they were hard ass jobs, but I didn't have to do programming. I wasn't a part of the gig. So no, you don't have to know programming for cybersecurity. And I'm just telling you from my personal experience. Is it great to have programming? Hell yeah, hell yeah. If you know fucking Python, you are the shit. I mean, if you know fucking Python, that is incredible, man. Like that's gonna really help you, and especially now with AI. Scripting, you are the shit. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. It's awesome to learn. It's awesome to know. It's so dope that right now, this late in my career, I'm thinking about doing a whole going deep into Python. That's how dope it is. But have I had to know it? No, I haven't had to be good or no coding at all whatsoever. Experience and degree certifications, which ones get you hired the quickest? A CISSP for a certification will get you hired super fast. A degree, any kind of computer degree, but they'll accept a STEM degree with experience. Experience, the experience depends on what role you're trying to do. So experience is going to depend on hell, if you're a SOC analyst, they require a SOC analyst type experience. They're gonna want you to have experience in some of the tools and processes that they use. Not necessarily you were a SOC and an analyst before, but you know how to use all the tools they use. You know how to use a SIEM. You know how to create content on a SIEM. You know how to use Splunk or something like that. That kind of stuff. So GRC is different.